Couldn't find the record button for a minute. All right, welcome everybody to our Wednesday High School Live. Today we're going to read our introductory book for our February lessons about our freedoms today, and then we're going to review some of our vocab words for this month. We're going to do a Jeopardy game to look over those words, and then probably at the end of the month we can review again and see how many we learned. Our freedoms today. Sarah and Tony buy a new book. The book is about how the United States of America began. What was life like in the colonies in the 1700s? What freedoms did they have?
In the 1700s, the King of Great Britain made the laws. The colonists did not get to choose their leaders. The king did not care about what the colonists wanted.
Today, we have the right to vote for our leaders. When Tony turns 18, he will vote for the leaders of our country. Now Tony votes for the student council. We have many freedoms today.
In the 1700s, the colonists had to give soldiers a place to sleep. They had to give them food to eat. They did not get to choose.
Today, we have the right to choose who lives in our homes. Sarah likes that she can choose how to help. She gives food to a food pantry in her community. We have many freedoms today.
In the 1700s, the king said the colonists could not have meetings. They could not talk about problems. The colonists wanted things to change.
Today, we have the right to free speech. Tony can tell leaders about the laws he does not like. We have many freedoms today.
Sarah reads that the colonists were not happy. They did not like doing what the king said. Some colonists wrote the Declaration of Independence.
The colonists fought for their rights. They wanted to be free. The United States of America became its own country. We have many freedoms today because of what they did.
All right, and that's the end of our book. So we're going to go ahead and use our wheel of names to choose our first category from our quiz game board, Becoming the USA. And our categories are words used in an argument, people and places of the war, reasons for living in the new world, and reasons for fighting the war. All right, reasons for living in the new world 400. This is something a person is allowed to have, get, or do. All right, let's come up here to our answer choices and let's take a look and see which we think it is. So we read that it was something a person is allowed to have, get, or do. So do we think it is settle? Yes or no? No. Do we think it is country? Yes or no? No. What about freedom? Yes or no? No. What about right? Is a right something a person is allowed to have, get, or do? Oh, I think that matches. Yes. We're going to go ahead and take that choice out for next time. Let's go ahead and spin our wheel. All right. Reasons for fighting the war 100.
This is the part of Earth not covered by water. So what does it mean? So there's two parts to the Earth. One is covered in water and one isn't. So do we think that it's goods, things that are bought or traded by and used by people? That doesn't match. Those aren't the same words. What about land? Is there water on land? Not really.
So land must be our answer choice. Yes. Take it out of there. Come back over to our wheel and give it another spin. All right. Reasons for living in the new world, 200.
This is an area of land. Sorry, I can't see it on mine. Thank you. This is an area of land that has its own government and rules. All right. So our choices are settle, country, or freedom. Let's take a look at those and think for a second. Settle is talking about making a new home. So would settle be the right answer? Yes or no?
No.
A no. The next choice is country. It's talking about an area of land. Is that what our clue was? Does that match? Yes. Yes, it does. That's the right answer.
All right, words used in an argument, 100. This means to argue with words by hitting or using weapons. Here are our choices. We have fight, battle, war, and compromise. Do we think it's compromise to agree by giving up something to end an argument? Yes or no? I don't think we were agreeing in our clue. I think that that's not what we were looking for. Let's look. What about fight? Does fight mean to argue with words by hitting or using weapons? Yes or no? Yes. Fighting means to argue with words, hitting, or weapons. It's not something we want to do.
Okay, here we go for the next one. Where's it gonna land?
People and places of the war, 300.
Okay.
Oops, wrong one. They switched up the colors on me after the first time. Here we go.
This is a place where people from another country come to live together. What does the word bank have for us here? So we have 4 choices, and 3 of them look like people. I see soldier, king, and colonist. And colonist says a person who comes from another country to live together with others in a new area. That sounds similar to what our clue was, but our clue was about a place. Which one is a place? Could it be the third one, colony?
I think that's the only one that's not a person.
Yep, and it says a place where people from another country come to live together.
All right. Back to our wheel. People and places of war 200.
This is a man born to rule a country. Okay, so the choices we have left are soldier, king, or colonist. So a man born to rule a country. Which one of those words makes sense? So that first top one is soldier. Do we think that that is the right answer? No, that doesn't fit that clue. No. The next choice is a king. What we know about kings, do you think that makes sense? Somebody ruling a country? No or yes, what do you think?
Yes.
Yes, yeah, that is the one that we want to pick, the king.
All right, back to our wheel of names categories. Where are we going next? Reasons for fighting the war 300. This is a rule made by government to let people know what they can and cannot do. A rule made by government to let people know what they can and cannot do. Let's see what our choices are. Goods, law, or tax. Let's think about what we know about these words. And I see a word on here that kind of sounds a little bit like the rules that we have at school. And they're kind of like the rules of the government. And it's not goods because that looks like food and some things we would have. That's not a rule. And a tax says it's money people pay. So that's not our choice. What about law? Is a law a rule? Yes, I think so. All right, back to our wheel.
Reasons for fighting the war, 200 points. These are things that are bought and traded and used by people. Well, we were just talking about this in our last question, and our two choices are tax and goods. If you look at the tax, it looks like one person giving another person money. And if you look at goods, those are the food and products and other things that people need in their daily life that Miss Cassie mentioned. So do we think it's tax, which is money, that are things that are traded and bought? No. No, the definition of goods says things that are bought or traded and used by people. And that is the answer to our question.
All right, reasons for living in the New World 100.
All right. This means to make a new home or town in a new area of land. Okay, so we have two choices here. The word settle on top and the word freedom on bottom. So to make a new home, which one of those words would make sense? I see on that picture of settle, I see a little picture of a house. And on that picture of freedom, I don't really see anything that looks like a home. So let's talk about that word settle. Do you guys think that that one makes sense about that you make a new home or town? Yes or no? Let's say yes. Say settle is that word that talks about making a new home or town. Settle.
All right, back to our wheel and let's see what category we're going to next. Okay. Words used in an argument 200. This is when two groups argue with words or by hitting and using weapons. So let's see what our choices are. Okay, here we have, make them a little bit bigger. Battle, war, or compromise. And remember before we said compromise was an agreement. So that wasn't something where they were fighting or arguing with words. They were agreeing. So let's look at battle and war. So battle says two groups argue with words or hitting or using a weapon. Does that sound like what we were just talking about? Yes. Back to our wheel.
Here we go. Reasons for fighting the war, 400. This is money people pay to the government to get things done. And there's only one choice left from our answers. It's the picture of the person giving another person money, and that is a tax. A tax is money people pay to the government to get things done.
All right, back to our wheel. We only have a few categories left.
All right, words used in an argument, 300. Okay, this is an argument between countries and groups in which sides are taken. So we have war or compromise. So that top word is the word war and the bottom one is compromise. So I remember that we've already talked about compromise means getting along, agreeing. And we talked about war was an argument. So let's first talk about the word war then. Is that the right answer to match that clue? No or yes? Say yes, that would be the right answer to match that clue, the word war.
All right, we are back to our wheel with our last four categories. Reasons for living in the New World, 300. This is having the ability to do what you want. Let's see. Oh, we only have one answer choice. Does that match up? Is freedom having the ability to do what you want? Yes, it matches our last answer choice in the definition of our clue, and the word is freedom. Go back to our wheel here. We're narrowing it down.
3 left. Words used in an argument for 400. This means to agree by giving up something to end an argument. And there's only one choice. It says compromise, and the picture is 2 people shaking hands. And you don't shake hands if you're fighting. So this is to end an argument or a fight, and that is our answer.
All right, people and places of the war, 400. This is a person who comes from another country to live together with others in a new area or land. So we have 2 choices left here, soldier or colonist. And I remembered another word, colony, which is similar. So a soldier doesn't really fit that clue, but a colonist does, that they're coming to settle in a new area. So I would say soldier would be no, we don't want to pick that clue. But colonist is the word that matches that clue. Yes for colonist.
All right, and our last clue, people and places of the war, 100. Hooray. All right. This is a person who serves in the army. Oh, we have 1 clue left, and it's definitely a person. A soldier is a person. And a soldier is a person who serves in the army. That matches our clue. And that is the last of our categories and our vocabulary words for the month of February.
So we will revisit these words at the end of the month when we conclude our unit on laws and how the United States came to be. If you have any questions or would like more access to these materials, please let one of us know. And thanks for coming.
Thank you. Thank you, Ella. Good to see you today.